Japan has come up with some initial plans for how to distribute a coronavirus vaccine once one is ready. The government will present the draft guidelines to its panel of experts in the hope of creating a system that's safe and efficient. Medical workers at high risk of infection and elderly people who are more likely to develop serious symptoms would have top priority under the scheme. Pregnant women and people who care for seniors could also receive early vaccinations. The central government says local health authorities should not have to bear the cost of vaccines. The draft also lays out a plan for what to do if vaccines which have undergone accelerated testing cause serious side effects. The government is creating a plan to compensate pharmaceutical companies for any losses they might incur if that happens. Experts will get a look at the plan on Friday. The government has not yet decided how best to distribute doses of the vaccine or whether residents will need to pay for it. One of the world's largest video game exhibitions has kicked off. The Tokyo Game Show is entirely online for the first time in its history. It got underway on Thursday night with exhibitors showing videos introducing their game titles. Viewers can instantly buy products online from the 33 participating companies. The virtual event is in stark contrast to last year, when more than 260,000 visitors crowded into a venue near Tokyo.
Going online creates a good opportunity for people who can't easily visit an exhibition site. That's an advantage of this year's show.
The video game market is expected to grow this year as people are spending more time at home amid the pandemic. A current hit is Animal Crossing. Gamers worldwide snapped up more than 22 million copies of the Nintendo title in a 3-month period to June. Another big seller is Nintendo Switch, the video console that runs the game. The company's net profit for the 3 months was up more than 500% from the same period last year. Major console makers are expected to release new models in November. Sony is preparing to release the PlayStation 5, its first new model in 7 years. Microsoft will release a new Xbox, also for the first time in 7 years. The Tokyo Game Show runs until Sunday. An expert on inter-Korean relations says North Korean troops may have been trying to prevent the spread of the coronavirus when they shot a South Korean official at sea earlier this week. The incident is the first fatal shooting of a non-military South Korean national by troops from the north since 2008. The South Korean military says the victim was an employee of the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries. It says he went missing on Monday while on duty in an area of the Yellow Sea near the north. The military says he was spotted alive on Tuesday, floating in the northern side of the waters. It says North Korean troops rushed to the scene, shot the man, and burned his body on the spot.
North Korea is very concerned about possible coronavirus infections. My impression is that this is why the troops took this excessive response.
Hiraiwa says he expects Seoul to seek dialogue with Pyongyang regarding the incident, while also monitoring how the public reacts.
South Korea is trying to use the situation as an opportunity to start talks with North Korea by urging them to provide an explanation.
Hiraiwa suggests this conciliatory approach means the shooting is unlikely to heighten military tensions between the countries or affect international relations. China's defense ministry says its 2 aircraft carriers have conducted separate regular exercises. The drills come as Washington continues to speak out against Beijing's increased maritime activity in the South China Sea.
The drills were aimed at testing equipment performance, checking the training levels of troops, and enhancing the ship's capabilities to complete missions.
The ships are the Liaoning and the Shandong. The Chinese Communist Party affiliate newspaper The Global Times says the Shandong embarked on a training voyage in the Bohai Sea in early September. Around the same time, the Liaoning was spotted in the Yellow Sea. The article says this was the first time China had 2 active aircraft carriers at sea for apparently simultaneous exercises. The Chinese military boosted its naval capabilities in recent years. In 2012, the Liaoning became China's first aircraft carrier to enter formal service. The Shandong became the second last December. U.S. aircraft carriers conducted drills in the South China Sea in July. The country has called China's widespread claims to the region completely unlawful and pledged support to parties with competing claims. Turning to the latest on the Trump administration's ban targeting the video sharing app TikTok. A court has ordered the White House to delay the ban set to take effect on Sunday or submit additional documents supporting the measure. The ruling by a district court in Washington, D.C. follows a request for a preliminary injunction by TikTok's Chinese owner, ByteDance. The court has given the White House until 2:30 p.m. on Friday to either delay the ban or submit additional documents. The Trump administration has said it will ban downloads and updates of the app from Sunday if ByteDance fails to reach a tie-up deal with U.S. software giant Oracle. Washington argues that personal data collected by the app is at risk of being misused by the Chinese government. Washington announced a similar ban targeting the social media app WeChat, also owned by a Chinese company. But a federal court in San Francisco issued on Saturday a preliminary injunction temporarily blocking the measure. The ban was set to take effect the following day. China says it supports the Hong Kong government's move to strengthen media control after new guidelines issued by police prompted backlash from media groups. The rules say authorities will only recognize journalists and news organizations registered with the government. A spokesperson for China's foreign ministry dismissed concerns and defended the newly revised regulations.
The interests and rights of foreign media and reporters in Hong Kong will be fully guaranteed as long as they abide by the law and their reporting is done in accordance with rules and regulations. We support the relevant department of the Hong Kong Special Administration in its strengthening of management and servicing of media in accordance to the law.
The rules will restrict news coverage. Freelancers and online news sites helped bring international attention to recent pro-democracy protests. Media unions in Hong Kong came out against the policy change, saying it could have a serious impact on press freedom in the territory. Some rather eye-catching structures are popping up in Tokyo. The simple, Instagram-worthy designs are part of a plan to flush away misconceptions about public toilets. NHK World's Yamamoto Saori went to see what all the fuss is about.
A striking red building inspired by traditional lapping techniques. A squid-shaped design that looks at home in a popular park. Each one came from the mind of a top Japanese architect. They're all creating a vase, but these colorful transparent stalls are drawing the most attention, even among people who don't hear the call of nature.
It's very strange.
It may seem risky to use these toilets, but step inside, close the door, lock it, and you get the privacy you need. This smart glass is only transparent when electrical current is running through it, so you won't be caught with your pants down even if the power goes out. Ban Shigeru came up with the cheeky idea. The award-winning architect is known around the world for his innovative designs. The impressive buildings aren't just made to look nice. Each has some special meaning, and this latest work is no exception.
Before they go in, people worry that the toilets aren't clean or that someone could be hiding inside. I wanted to use design to solve the problems many public toilets have.
Addressing issues with public restrooms, is what unites the project's facilities. Ando Tadao is also a world-famous architect. He focused on making his design easy to access, with a unique shape and structure that allows fresh air to flow through.
I was inspired by the architects involved and wanted to do my best. A building's value isn't determined by its scale. This public toilet may be small, but it conveys an important message.
So far, 7 of these toilets have been installed in downtown Tokyo, with 10 more on the way. The non-profit Nippon Foundation says it wants the project to change habits and minds.
These unique and advanced designs make the toilets accessible for everyone, regardless of gender, age, or ability. Ultimately, it demonstrates the possibilities of an inclusive society.
Everyone involved hopes this effort to elevate the humble public toilet won't end here, but instead inspire better design throughout the world. Yamamoto Saori, NHK World.
Time now for a check on the world weather with our meteorologist Yoko Komagata. So Yoko, we're still monitoring the remnant of Tropical Storm Dolphin in Japan. So where are we seeing the biggest threat?
So Dolphin will continue to produce heavy downpours across northeastern Japan on Friday. So flooding and landslides are the main concerns. The storm system is skirting the east coast of Tohoku, bringing heavy rain and rough sea conditions. At the same time, another low-pressure system is also producing downpours in western Japan. People in Kochi Prefecture saw 273 millimeters in just 3 hours. A couple of low-pressure systems will continue to move northeast along the Pacific coast of the country on Friday, so heavy rainfall will be seen in the Kinki region, where up to 120 millimeters. Also, heavy downpours will push into the eastern portions of Tohoku and eastern Hokkaido. Expect up to 150 millimeters through the next 24 hours. Strong onshore winds will also create gusts and high waves as high as 7 meters. Tokyo should avoid heavy rainfall, but a few showers are possible throughout the day on Friday. For the rest of Asia, wet weather will persist in Shanghai and Hong Kong on Friday. Toward the north, much drier conditions are expected in Beijing with a high of 27 degrees. An intense storm system is producing severe weather across a large portion of Central Europe. Some gusts and even tornadoes were reported in Italy. And people in Spain are dealing with torrential rainfall. A train station in Madrid was flooded after heavy rains on Thursday morning. At least 5 lines and a few other stations in the Spanish capital were affected, causing some delays. Services continued shortly after all the water was drained. The storm system will continue to bring severe weather across Central Europe on Friday. Some severe thunderstorms will also push into the Balkans as we go into the weekend. And cold air will spread toward the south, so rain may turn to snow in the Alpine region. Temperatures will drop to the teens in London, Paris, and Berlin on Friday. That's all for now. Stay safe.